Just like I had said, our soldiers have lost their killing instinct, where it been necessary for win a war. Because for win this war, we will not allow any man where it claim for be an elected member or a representative of the Cameroon state in such capacity to walk away. No, you must neutralize them. It don't spread the whole place. I remember the last time they catch this other mayor, this other senator from Boyo for come the catch for inside Bafu, the 7 Kata. The soldier then reach out for me as they always reach out for me. They say, I think this will run catch them. I tell them, they ask us, Capo Daniel, wait to do with them because we don't know what to do with them. Their leadership, they were diaspora, they never even tell them. I tell them, say, now one thing they for do them. Person way, it don't go give itself, say, me, la Republic, using like senator, mayor, when our people did not even vote you, that person is a thief, is a common criminal, and has committed high treason. High treason, even in America, the solution now one. Now death penalty. If we are not able to carry out death penalty for a crime where internationally it is prosecuted and sentenced and punished by death penalty, then we cannot even win this war. What happened? My conversation with them was recorded and then played to this woman and her family and the Cameroon government as a means to leverage them for more money. They say, "Una see, our big people for diaspora, they don't talk say, now the punishment this will give a giam. So that the punishment this now will go giam. With the giam now because na Capo Daniel he talk. So if the only one I think come off a year now will pay more money. So now say that happen, they go collect more money, they release that woman. Information that they come back now for me now from our partner the way they internationally. If they go come back for me say Capo Daniel. Now the thing in this way they for your hand, but would the fear die? Would they fear now because we are born already, we don't give ourselves for this country. So it no matter if today we fall, I will fall with our head held high because we have fought for a noble cause and we have taken decisions not for our own protection or our own comfort, but for you, Ambazonia. So it doesn't matter for me, but it's a lesson learned. How can we succeed with a boat where it leak for one chamber, it leak for the other, the man the boss you own for this side, she don't, they hide the water where they climb for the boat. That boat, you know, will sink. So TTA now, Blinky, he don't release the one. Another soldier now wait there for inside meme, you feel say go catch and so you go do the thing we're supposed to do with them. No be it to go talk say if that man not really he don't catch and take your own money, me too I will take my own money for year. Now say he don't corrupt, now say the whole struggle he don't be crippled. They be cash even the
my country people them. Today, number 18 day for October 2024, I want to get a frank discussion with my people them, the Anglophones inside Cameroon, and for also give them my advice from my own vantage point. Since the crisis started for 2017, me I become a victim for 2018 while I be visit my family. The Amba terrorists they attack me and a wider way I decide to fight back. And since then I don't learn a lot about our history, learn a lot about SCNC, and learn a lot about what will transpire between 1950s, especially 1961, up till today 2024. And my assessment is and the advice we are bringing for una. I will look at the different stances and the different positions the way Anglophones they don't take them vis-a-vis our history, and then I will also give una my own opinions and advice as to how we as a collective, as a people, will go ahead for solve the problems the way we call them say the Anglophone problem in Cameroon. First thing I want to make una understand and say, people the way they believe in federalism, they miss a golden opportunity for achieve federation inside Cameroon. Make I repeat them. There came a time for 2018-19 at the peak of Ambazonia terrorism. If Anglophones they be genuinely want to change a form of state inside Cameroon, they would have achieved it. But as usual, Anglophones they miss golden opportunity, and now it is too late.
Should they give us federation? Or we should go there, negotiate for federation, so that if they give us federation, if they agree for federation, we can then take it, and then in another 5 years, we'll build up our army and cut off from them.
Once you pressure and you have even a federation, you have power alternation deal in that agreement, power comes to the Anglophones, then the Anglophones have the military and the international affairs. Biya is making that his mouth now because he has the military and international affairs. If we too have that, we will speak and we will bite and we can do anything. We can even ask for the independence. That is the secret. Very peaceful, very straightforward.
I think if they agree on federation, we should take it, and then with time, we'll cut off. And so that is it. That's what is happening.
When I don't show we with a hand, and we recognize them, and now why that way, two-state federation it no go ever happen inside Cameroon. But I will come to that.
Our problem is not one of secession. That's why we incorrect to call us secession. Secession means to secede means is to cede something, to cut off something from a whole. We have never been one. We attempted to join in a flawed process that even failed before it started. And the union has not been a good one by every common sense. Therefore, we are just restoring that which we had.
So make we examine the different positions them where Anglophones they don't take as far as our history be concerned. So you get two main positions then. You get one position where now people the way they talk say will never ever join the Republic of Cameroon, and then you get the other position where they will talk say yes we'll be joined, but then for 1972 when will they be change the federal constitution. Now for their way their point of contention it be so make they return back to the Federation of 1972. Now make I tell you now one point. The people the way they clamor for independence, the people the way they cry about restoration, or any person we call themselves the Ambazonians where they claim say they get a right for get independence or whatever, make I tell you now, independence means recognition. It no matter whether you declare yourself an independent state, you talk on for Facebook, you scream to the top of your lungs if you want, so far as no one recognizes that independence and you don't get the power for wield that sovereign powers, the right, the supreme authority for governing yourself, then you're just making noise. So make Anglophones that learn these realities so that we could stop for the make noise, and then we go move ahead for achieve concrete results and achieve concrete powers where we fit use them for govern ourselves, where we fit actually create impact in society and impact our people, their lives them in a positive way rather than in a destructive way. So for the people the way they talk say we never ever join the Republic of Cameroon, for example, Pa Molanjo Litumbe, where they talk about Njumba no be married, those people then make her explain something for una. Whether you like them or not, the whole world, the international community, it recognize say we be joined. And now why that when Cameroon it be take Nigeria go for International Court of Justice about the Bakassi Peninsula case, Cameroon win, and the whole world it don't already adjudicate and say the territorial integrity of Cameroon. Cameroon is sovereignty include the former British Southern Cameroons and the former Republic of Cameroon combined, we get now one sovereignty. So whether you scream for Facebook, you cry so tears come up for your eye, it no go change that fact. Say the whole world it recognize Cameroon as one. So if you want to talk say we no be don't ever join, that one now your opinion. It no matter because the world it recognize say we be joined. So whether you get the best argument for write a thesis for university, whether you argue I'm talking for country talk, whether you talk about how Jumba no be married, whether you talk all kind of things then, plus the people the way they talk say they so say the Fumban Constitutional Conference it no be conclusive for 1961. Guess what? All of that na noise. And now why that way? Even Tibor Nagi where it want the so-called Ambazonians for achieve their aim. Isa don't tell when I say that train left the station in 1961.
Why would the United States consider Crimea an annexed territory and is not vocal to consider Cameroon present in Ambazonia an annexation?
Do you want the diplomatic answer or the real answer?
I want the real answer.
Okay, the real answer is that train left the station in 1961 or whenever. No one is going to go back to that. The Crimea situation happened, in the last few years, whereas in Ambazonia, like it or not, it's the government of Cameroon which exercises sovereignty. But right now, you're basically, as I would say, shooting blanks out of a gun because the international community just not going to take any action based on those arguments, no matter how justified. You can have a lot of academicians, who respect those. They will write wonderful academic papers, maybe even doctoral dissertations, but they will end up on the shelf.
It don't tell una. Nobody in the international community will ever go back for 1961. It don't tell una for text. It tell una in audio, in video. It tell una in interviews. It tell una for una faces. It no go ever happen. So whether you be angry about injustice, as some people they talk about the international conspiracy against una, yes, let that be the case. Make we accept, say there was an international conspiracy against you. Now the question is, how do you rectify it? There is no rectification. There is no remedy. No, which court day where you would take the United Kingdom go to? Which court day where you would take the United Nations go to? And now one of the things in this way, people that like Molanjo Litumbe, Ni John Frundi, Estimuna himself, John Go Frontier himself, all these people, them SCNC, they don't go to the United Nations itself. They don't talk to the diplomatic missions there. Whether not the President of the United States himself, Ni John Frundi be invited to the inauguration of Bill Clinton. Okay, they don't sit face to face, talk to American diplomats, talk to presidents around the world, and they don't tell them the same thing. They recognize the territorial integrity of Cameroon.
Is the permanent separation of the two regions a possibility? Sir, I don't believe so, because I think that most Cameroonians, including in the Southwest and Northwest, have a sense of Cameroonianness, and the concept of a separated, what they call Ambazonia, in my view, is not realistic. Okay. It is the view of the United States of America to recognize the integrity of the country of Cameroon. Got it.
So faced with that reality, we as Anglophones need for understand, say 1961, it don't happen and it don't pass. Whether there was some injustice done back then in the 50s and the 60s, there is nothing we can do about it now. Cameroon, it don't already be now one country. Breaking up that country is not going to be a piece of cake. And even if you want to be secessionist, at least be honest about it. Say, yes, we joined, and now we want to secede. Be honest about it. The lies are not going to help you. We don't lie to ourselves for decades and decades and decades, and the only thing we don't bring win away, Ambazonia terrorism. And after 5, 6, 7, 8 years of the poorly educated picking where they carry guns to go for bush, what have we achieved? That is an honest question. We need to be able to sit back, assess and look at which way we don't losses, which way we don't achieve them, and then ask ourselves, was it a good bargain? Was it a good deal? The people, the way they carry guns fall for bush, in the pretext, say they fight for Anglophonism. What did they do with the guns? They turned the guns against the same people, the way they claim, say they can't protect them. Even the Amba terrorists, they kill other Amba terrorists. And I will give you examples. For January 2020, when I remember the Bui massacre, where they killed 39 picking them, that one Amba versus Amba. For Guzang massacre, for December 2018, they killed at least 12 of them, where they catch someone, then tie their hands and for back and then shoot them. I get all the pictures and videos and evidence. When I know about Madame Ayafo Florence, when I know plenty other ones, the way the beheadings, okay, Senator Kemende Henry for Bamenda, the destruction of SDF as a political party, all of these things, now we Anglophones will do them to ourselves. For 2016, 2017, when the Anglophones, they agitate, they carry chaka from Kradai guns to go for bush. In the pretext, said they fight for Anglophonism. What did not happen? What have we actually achieved? They be declared, say CPDM, not the enemy, right? But look at the results today. CPDM, it don't sweep every single senator, every single parliamentarian seat in the Northwest and the Southwest region and around the whole country. So when I don't come now, we can't destroy the opposition and then instead empower the CPDM political party. That is a concrete result from what way Anglophones to be agitate about. So the opposite of what way we want, now it don't happen. When I claim, say when I go boycott 2018 presidential elections for teach President Paul Biya a lesson, what it happen? It win overwhelmingly. It consolidate power throughout the whole country as a result of our own foolishness. So we need to stop being foolish. We need to get sense and approach this thing in a different direction. People the day where they no forever accept if they will tell them for 2015, 2016, say Anglophone agitation, it will lead to the destruction of Anglophones, it will lead to the destruction of the opposition party, and it will strengthen the CPDM, it will strengthen the President Paul Biya hand instead. People they not forever believe. Me myself, I not for believe him if you tell me for 2016, say Anglophones them, they go woke up, agitate, and then they go start divide amongst themselves. This level of division where they amongst ourselves as Anglophones them, I not forever believe him. Sako Ekome, and know they talk to Marianta, you know they talk to Chris Anu, you to know they talk to Ayabacho Lucas, you to know they talk to Ebenezer Akwanga, and it goes on and on. How many internet government they don't create them since Ambazuna nonsense is start? From Sisiku Ayuk Tabe to Sako Ekome to Marianta and the other names where I don't call them, when I know, I don't even need for litigate that point, when I know the division where they amongst we Anglophones them. That is the Anglophone problem inside Cameroon. And another big problem where we get them as a people, now say some few Anglophones they believe say they be more Anglophones than others. That is a fallacy, and that is a big mistake where we keep making. And I don't prove them for una. And one of the reasons that way I start my black legism after I be attacked by the Ambazuna terrorists. One of the points where they be making na say they be believe say they so some Anglophones they be need for be sacrificed in order for them to achieve their political ambitions. Now, why that way they will talk about, say, we need to shed blood. Say, we have to shed blood to gain our independence. So the question was, whose blood are you prepared to shed? And also, some people, they be think today, so, you're not supposed to talk as Anglophones. You're not supposed to get an opinion or a say. Not only them, because they carry guns or because they believe in their own small myopic mind, they believe say this so that they represent all Anglophones. But the question is, who gave you the mandate? Because you call yourself a separatist, because you call yourself Ambazonian, because you call yourself or you believe say Cameroon is supposed to divide, it don't mean say that all Anglophones they believe in that. And now these kind of people them they radicalize people like me to the level where we had to teach them a lesson. Because all along, even in the SCNC, they will get this motto where they talk say the force of argument and not the argument of force. So the people them in the SCNC where they believe in the argument of force, where they believe say they need to carry guns for teach Pobia a lesson, those people them, it was necessary for them for carry the guns, for them for actually use their own ideology, for use force, and now where they don't fail, now where they don't carry the guns and it don't backfire, now where they be agitate and then the Anglophone population follow them for 2017. And the result now say the Anglophone population it don't become the target of the beginning where they carry the guns, the extortion, the kidnapping for ransom, the illiteracy, the burning down of schools, stopping children from going to schools, and all of those things, destruction of our economy, making your territory ungovernable. All of those policies and strategies they be designed for take the Anglophone population backwards. The destruction of anything where Anglophones they don't ever build them, from our culture to our tradition, even the language, to the political parties, the opposition, and all the institutions, we don't ever build them. And instead, they strengthen the hands of the CPDM. So now the Anglophone population don't withdraw. They don't remove their hands from this nonsense and they just want peace back. Now is the golden opportunity. Now where the people, the way they be one force, they don't use the force and they don't fail. In 7 to 8 years, they don't control one last mango. The only thing where they control them, now the kidnapping for ransom business and burning down people their taxi inside Bamenda. That is not what the Anglophones wanted. And because the people the way they be want for use force, they don't try them and it don't backfire, they don't fail. Now the golden opportunity for those of us where we be rational, where we get the mind and the intelligentsia for Anglophone community, the people the way they be educated, the elites, for come together. And this one of my proposition said the Anglophones they need a conference where it will bring together all the sons and daughters of Anglophone community, where they be in favor of the progress of the Anglophones and not this nonsense called division or separatism. No, we don't triumph and we don't fail. May we accept defeat. Anglophones cannot and will never be able to mount a force that would be able to take territory and hold it and control it with the comparison of the Cameroon military and the military might where Yaoundé get them It will never happen. And even if it will happen, at what cost? Are we prepared to pay the cost? Because I am not. And also, the people, the way they believe in separatism, they must reckon with the reality, say, no be now all Anglophones that believe in that ideology. The people, the way they inside the Cameroon government, the people, they also get interest for protecting. And we don't too much intertwine with the Francophone system and the Francophone brothers across the Mungo. For the way the so-called division or separation, it no go ever happen. It no be feasible. And two-state federation, that one not just a pipe dream. For the way we don't play our card, we don't show our hand. Say the only thing where people they talk about two-state federation, now because we don't fail at separation, so we look at two-state federation as a stepping stone, so that it will give you a breathing space for so-called prepare for then launch another separatist insurrection in the future. No person no be stupid enough to fall into that trick. And also the Anglophone population in the southwest region, they don't be stupid. They don't try the political union with the northwest, and they don't experience the marginalization where it happened during the Foncha years. We know very well KNDP, when they will be in power from 1950s to 1972, in those 11 to 12 years where John Go Foncha will be at the helm of political power inside the southern Cameroons and then later on West Cameroon, they marginalized the population from the southwest. These are just historical facts, and I will quote them for now. For example, the two biggest political positions, the way they will be held by the people that from the former southern Cameroons, now either the vice president of the Federal Republic or the prime minister of West Cameroon. For 1961, when we create the federation, John Go Foncha will occupy both of those positions. Them he won. He negotiate those positions them for himself. Okay, and then after that, he go to Augustine Gomjuan, then he go to Estimuna, and all the people, the way they will hold those two top positions then in all the 11 years of the federation, they will come out from the northwest region. All of this happened because of the infighting where it happened between John Go Foncha, KNDP, and EML, Ndele, own political party. And the reason that way, by 1966, all the political parties that inside the former West Cameroon, they decide by themselves for dissolve their political parties them for form one party system inside Cameroon because of their own infighting. It will be too much in West Cameroon. These are historical facts. If you don't believe me, go and do your own research for yourself. So going back for the people the way they believe today, so we never ever join Cameroon, you must then answer this simple question. How was it possible for John Go Foncha for sit in Yaoundé as the vice president of the Federal Republic of Cameroon if he did not take his people and joined Cameroon? That is a simple question.
When Britain had announced publicly that Nigeria was going to become independent as from 1st of October 1960, the Colonial Office hurriedly prepared a constitution for southern Cameroons because on 1st of October, the governor of Nigeria, Sir James Robertson, was to surrender power to Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. The British government could no longer administer the UN Trust territory, for which they signed an agreement with the Trusteeship Council on 13th of December 1946. They could not hand it over to the sovereign Nigerian government. So on 12th of September 1960, the Colonial Office in London prepared a special constitution for Southern Cameroons called the Southern Cameroon Order in Council 1960. It was put before the British Parliament in Whitehall in London on 16th of September 1960, and it became law on 1st of October 1960, the day Nigeria was granted independence. That constitution provided for Southern Cameroons the post of Commissioner for Cameroons. He more or less inherited the powers hitherto vested in the expatriate Governor General of Nigeria. They took those powers and vested them on the Commissioner for Cameroons, a white man. The Constitution provided for two houses of parliament, a House of Chiefs and a House of Assembly, an independent judiciary, and several others. But it reserved certain powers to the Colonial Office in London. Those powers were foreign affairs and defense. and to some extent taxation. So until the end of the trust over Southern Cameroons, the government of Dr. John Foncha had no constitutional authority to discuss the foreign affairs of Southern Cameroons.
You go get people that like Molan Jolit, but their argument now say John Foncha and nobody get the constitutional powers for discuss the foreign affairs of former British Southern Cameroons. At the same time, now the same people in this way, they talk say this, so John Foncha be supposed to enter into a union treaty with President Amadou Ahidjo. How can those two things be true? John Foncha no get the powers for enter into international treaty because it no be own sovereignty. Now only sovereign states they fit enter into international agreements or treaties. But John Foncha no be don't ever wield that sovereign power. So how could he then enter into an international agreement with the president of Cameroon, Amadou Ahidjo? It is not possible. You cannot say he did not have the powers to discuss the foreign affairs of Southern Cameroon. At the same time, you want him to enter into a union treaty. And now why that way? Now the United Kingdom, it be enter into that international treaty with President Amadou Ahidjo because now two sovereign states that enter into an international agreement. Now why that way? The United Kingdom, it be signed exchange of notes with President Amadou Ahidjo on the 27th of September 1961. And that document it will be deposited at the United Nations Secretariat the following year for March 1962. And that was the process by which the trusteeship agreement itself was terminated through that exchange of notes for 1961. And now exactly the same document where it terminates the trusteeship agreement for the Cameroons under United Kingdom administration, where it include the Northern Cameroons. So the people, the way they always ask for union treaty, none of them, don't ever articulate the fact say, you go also expect the Northern Cameroons for get a union treaty with Nigeria because the same document where it terminated the trusteeship agreement with Southern Cameroons, now exactly the same document, it terminated the same trusteeship agreement where it involved the Northern Cameroons. One document, 6 pages, where it's signed between the British and President Amadou Ahidjo for terminate for Southern Cameroons, and it's signed, the British, they signed with the Nigerian Federation for terminate the contract as far as the Northern Cameroons is concerned. No union treaty was expected. And I don't know who's how they take this notion, because even if when I want for claim, say now United Nations Charter Article 102, read the Article 102, it will talk for this member states of the United Nations, and why it will require member states of the United Nations for sign union treaty and then deposit them at the Secretariat. Now because if you then come in the future for can claim dispute about that treaty, then the United Nations already get an archived copy where they go use them in the process for deliberate and for determine who be right and who be wrong. Now the only reason that way the United Nations, it be right and for Article 102 say member states when they enter into treaties or international agreements, they need for deposit that agreement with the United Nations Secretariat, so that in the future, if you want to bring a dispute concerning that treaty, the United Nations already get a copy. They go use now their own copy where you deposit them with them in order for check them for know who be right and who be wrong. As they talk for Article 102, member states of the United Nations, which the Southern Cameroons has never been a member. So that Article 102, the requirement, if you enter union treaty or international agreements or any treaty for deposit them at the United Nations, does not apply to the former British Southern Cameroons because the British Southern Cameroons has never been a member of the United Nations. Make you understand that fact and that reality. So these people, the way they claim they will never ever join Cameroon, they get a big problem. One of the biggest problems, I say, the whole world recognize Cameroon as one. The whole world recognize Nigeria as one. And if you go try for divide Cameroon, then you don't already try for divide Nigeria. Because the same resolution 1608 now about the Northern Cameroons as well as the Southern Cameroons. And the exchange of notes will terminate the trusteeship agreement. It also terminate the agreement for Northern Cameroons and Southern Cameroons. The same document. So if you talk say we never ever join Cameroon, then by extension, you'd either talk say the Northern Cameroons to never ever join Nigeria, and by so doing, you ostracize yourself and you alienate yourself because the whole world recognizes Cameroon as one. You now they talk like somebody who is just making noise outside. No person no go ever bring you in for listen to where you talk, because you are just a noise maker. So you will become irrelevant. So when I will continue for the talk that noise for the next 30, 40, another 60, 70, 80 years, and you will still be outside making noise. You not be a member of the African Union. You not be a member of the European Union. You not be a member of the United Nations. You not be a member of no internationally recognized organization. So you could just be an outsider making noise. So nobody no will ever take you seriously.